Hello, my beautiful friends. So, today we are talking about mindset shifts and affirmations that help me overcome 10 years of yo yo dieting and binging slash restricting. If you are new to this channel, hello, and welcome. My name is Viv, or as my wonderful clients like to call me, Coach Viv, which I just think is the most endearing. I don't know why. I think that's just the most endearing title or name. Like, I love when my clients are like, Coach Viv. I just think that's so cute. But, anyways, so I am Viv, and I help women overcome yo yo dieting slash the binge slash restrict cycle. And I speak from a place where I struggled with it for over 10 years. And I genuinely never, ever, ever thought that I would overcome it. Because, girl, when you've been doing something for 10 years, you feel like that's just who I am. You know, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with the way my mind works. And I guess this is just the life that I am destined to and doomed to forever. Yeah, that's genuine. At one point, no, not at one point, I'm sorry, at many points, that's genuinely what I thought. And so I hope that me just sitting here today in the best shape of my life, best relationship with my food and body, truly just thriving, I hope that that gives you some semblance of hope that even after struggling through this for over 10 years, you can get to a place where you feel at home and at peace and just so good in your body and with all food. All food. Yes, even going out to eat, even pizza, even fries, even cookies. I never, ever could imagine that life for myself, but here we are today. And it's like, this is what God put me on earth to do. He was like, you're going to go through this so that you can overcome it, so that you then can help other women who have also struggled with the same thing. So that is really what we're here to do together. So let's talk about the mindset shifts and the affirmations that really help me get out of the yo-yo dieting and binging slash restricting cycle. So when I was on my weight loss journey, when I was at my heaviest, when I was really struggling with binging, none of my clothes fit. Like, I went from a extra small to small to a large. And, I know size isn't everything, but I just wasn't used to that. To be a large was such a foreign concept to me because, again, I was just so used to being extra small or small. Gaining weight where I started buying clothes to hide my body rather than what do I actually want to wear? What do I feel good in? What do I think is cute? No. When I went shopping, it was all about, okay, I'm insecure about my arms. I'm insecure about my upper thighs. I'm insecure about my love handle. So, like, how do I dress in a way where I can hide those features? Like, I just feel like my whole life was centered around my body. And I was so body focused, so insecure, so uncomfortable in my skin that it was really hard to just function as the human, to enjoy relationships. Like, if I were to go out to eat with friends, instead of enjoying my time with my friends, it was like, okay, what's on the menu? What am I going to eat? Oh my God, like, is this going to ruin my progress? I wasn't thinking, oh, I get to see my awesome friends. It was like, no, what is the food going to look like? Am I going to drink? Oh my God, will I have self-control? What's going to happen the next week? It was constant anxiety and constant stress about food in my body. And so, when I'm at this place where I am just so uncomfortable in my skin, the heaviest that I've ever been, I was so desperate to lose weight. And funny enough, that is part of what made the cycle worse, because when I was so desperate to lose weight, I was like, all right, well, I need to lose this weight as quickly as possible. And in order to lose weight as quickly as possible, I need to make drastic changes to my nutrition, my diet, and my workouts. So I would try to make drastic changes. And then I would also expect myself to be perfect with those changes. And as soon as I wasn't perfect or I fell off track even by 1%, I thought that meant I was a failure. I was doomed. I messed up. And it would put me into this mental spiral where I would just feel so discouraged. I was like, there's something wrong with me. This is evidence. This is proof that I'm going to be stuck in this body, in this yo-yo dieting cycle forever. And so all of those thoughts just made me want to give up and throw in the towel and say, you know what? I'm stuck like this forever. What is the point? So I'm just going to binge eat on all the things that I've been restricting. All the things, the pizza, the wine, the ice cream, the cookies, like anything that I felt like having, I was just going to shove it in my mouth. And it wasn't until I would get to the point where I wasn't just full. Okay, I was not just full. I genuinely felt like if I ate another bite, my stomach would explode and my intestines would be all over the wall. Yes, that full. It wasn't until I got to that point where then I was able to stop. But I would always, every time I binge, I would always eat until I got to that point. And again, that all was fueled from expecting myself to be perfect, setting these really high standards for what my diet should look like, what my exercise should look like. And then when I inevitably could not live up to those standards, I would feel discouraged. I would be so mean to myself. I would feel so defeated. And then that would lead me to binge eat. And then I would gain more weight. And then I was like, no, I can't do this. I have to lose weight. And the same thing would happen. So I had to start, like once I realized the spiral that I was in, because it first takes awareness. I didn't even realize what was happening other than, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why am I in this cycle? I never questioned, okay, like what's actually happening? What's going on? What's going on in my mind that's causing this? I just was like, okay, I need a diet, or I binge. I need a diet, I binged. I wasn't even aware of what was happening. So it wasn't until I took a step back, took the emotions out of it, and actually saw what was happening, which was, okay, I binge when I feel discouraged because I set expectations that were so unreasonable, way too high for myself, way too advanced for where I was currently at. And so when I would fall off track, I would get discouraged, and that would make me want to give up, which would then make me want to binge. So once I realized what was happening, then I understood, okay, I have to stop setting these really high, unrealistic expectations for myself. Every time I do this, I'm just shooting myself in the foot. And so when I realized I had to stop setting high expectations for myself, and I had to start with small wins and small habit changes that were actually doable, that I could actually follow through on and didn't feel like total poop because I didn't follow through on it. I also then realized, okay, well, if I make small habit changes, that also means that my weight loss progress and my fat loss progress is going to be significantly slower. But, and of course I didn't want it to be slow, but I realized the other way, wanting it to be quick and doing drastic changes, it hasn't worked for over 10 years, Vivian. It hasn't worked for over 10 years. So sure, you can hold on to this desire to want to lose weight as quickly as possible, but you're going to continue on this yo-yo dieting cycle until you let go of that desire. That is what God was telling me. God was like, girl, that's fine. You want to be stubborn? Cool. You do you. Just know that you're going to stay stuck in this cycle until you finally surrender and let go and let divine timing take its place, and let your weight loss take as long as it needs to, rather than let it take its divine timing rather than your human ego insecure timing. That was the moment when I let go, when I surrendered, when I finally said, I'm willing to let this take as long as it takes. That was the moment, girl, that my life changed. Now, it took me 10 years to finally surrender and get to that point, but that was the moment my life changed, because once I allowed it to take as long as it was going to take, I finally let go of the expectation of myself to be perfect, or what I thought was perfect. I said, all right, what do my current habits look like? What am I currently doing? How can I make a small habit shift towards the person I want to be from where I'm currently at? So to give you an example, I would binge eat sugar at night. And so my perfectionist old self would say, okay, I got to cut out all sugar so I can lose weight as quickly as possible. My new self said, all right, so I like to eat a lot of sugar after dinner. All right, what is a small habit shift that I can make in the right direction? Okay, well, what do I normally like to eat? A tub of ice cream, a whole box of cookies. Okay, can I decrease my portion size so I'm still indulging in the sweets, but it's less than I normally would? Does that feel doable to me? And I would actually sit with that thought and actually feel in my body, does that feel doable? Rather than staying in my head and saying, I should be able to. Girl, I've been trying to should myself. I should do this, I should do that, and it hasn't been working. So let's take out the shoulds and actually feel, is this something I truly feel confident that I can stick to? Yes, okay, I can reduce my normal sugar portion sizes by, I don't know, let's say 75%. So when I do normally the whole tub of ice cream, instead of the whole tub, I will eat 3/4. Can I stick to that? Yes, I can. That does feel doable to me. So that would be a small habit shift in the right direction where I'm decreasing the portion sizes of my sugar intake. But obviously, going from a whole tub of ice cream to 75% isn't going to produce significant weight loss. But again, I had to let go of that desire. I had to let go of that expectation. So what happened over time was I went from a whole tub of ice cream to 75% of the tub to 50% of the tub to 25% of the tub to I don't even need it anymore because I've reduced my portion sizes so much I don't even need it anymore. And you might be thinking, okay, well, like, what's the timeline that you followed these increments by? I had to let go of timelines. Again, I would feel in my body, okay, do I feel like I can just do half of the tub tonight? No, I don't. I'm not going to set that goal. But I would continually revisit it. Okay, do I feel like I could do that now? Do I feel like I could do that now? No, still feels too hard, still feels too hard. And I would not set the goal until I was like, you know what? It does feel doable. It does feel challenging, but it feels doable. Even these YouTube videos, I had to start very small. And in the beginning, I literally told myself, I'm just going to turn the camera on and just say anything. Doesn't matter what, but I'm just going to turn the camera on. I don't need to post it. I'm just going to say whatever comes to my mind so that I can get into the habit of turning the camera on, setting it up, sitting down, right? And now I actually can film and talk and post and do all the steps. But I had to really take those baby steps and understand that my goal was to make consistent YouTube videos. But I said, okay, how can I make a small shift in the right direction, which would be just sitting down, turn on the camera and talking for a minute and not even posting the video. And then from there, I worked my way up. And I did the exact same thing with food and with exercise, where I was like, okay, I really need to meet myself where I am, let go of the desire of immediate or quick fat loss, and just start taking small steps in the right direction that I trust in the universe and God that will add up over time to the body that I want. And I will say, along this entire journey, I was not perfect. Even setting small habit shifts, there were times where I would fall off track, significantly less often than when I would set really high expectations, but there were definitely times where I fell off track. And one affirmation or mindset shift that I made that really helped me stay and stick through the process was telling myself, falling down is not a sign of failure. Falling down does not mean I'm stuck in yo-yo dieting. Falling down is not a bad thing. It means that I'm trying, that I'm pushing myself, that I'm growing. And I always think of a baby crawling who's learning how to walk. So they'll hold on to furniture and they'll stand up and they'll try to walk, but they fall down. Part of them learning how to walk is they have to fall down. They have to fall down, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just like a baby crawling, learning how to walk. So how do you learn how to walk? You fall down. How do I learn how to improve my portion control skills and my emotion regulation skills with eating? I fall down. I make mistakes. It's part of the process. Okay, it's a good thing. It's a good sign. If I don't fall down, it means I'm not trying and I'm not growing and I'm not pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And girl, when I made that shift of falling down is a good thing and it means I'm pushing myself and I'm growing, that was very empowering for me. That was very empowering because we all fall down. And if I used those times where I fell down as evidence that there was something wrong with me, I would be constantly beating myself up, which is exactly what I was doing. And then that leads to discouragement and that leads to wanting to binge eat and give up. So I was like, okay, falling down is part of the process. And if I beat myself up for it, it's just going to make me want to binge, which is counterproductive to my goals. So instead of seeing this as a negative, if it's part of the process, why don't I celebrate it? Why don't I celebrate it? It's like couples who they think, okay, fighting is bad. Part of being in a relationship is learning how to fight and communicate and go through those struggles. So instead of saying, okay, it's bad when I have a fight with my partner, say, this is good. I'm growing. I'm learning how to communicate. We're learning how to work through our problems, and it's going to make us grow stronger on the other side. And I'm learning how to get out of my comfort zone and talk about my feelings, even though I'm scared to. This is good. It's not bad that we're fighting. It's a good thing. It's a sign of growth. It's all a shift in how you see inevitable parts of these processes. You're gonna fight when you're in a relationship. So instead of thinking it's bad, see it as good and as growth. You're gonna fall down on your journey to overcoming binge eating and yo-yo dieting. So instead of seeing that as bad, see it as you having the courage to get back up and that you are learning and growing. I had to repeat this to myself over and over and over again. And girl, I repeat it to my clients over and again because every time that you know what, and I preface, like whenever we do our introduction calls, I preface on our call, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna fall down, okay? It's gonna happen. None of us are perfect. I know you think, okay, I invested in a coach and in a program, so now I'm gonna be perfect. You're gonna fall down and we're going to learn from it. And we're going to celebrate that you made a mistake and that you learned from it and that you grew and that you took that mistake and a learning lesson to future situations. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not have any clients, including myself, that were ever perfect on this journey. So when you inevitably fall off track or fall down, we are going to celebrate that that is a good thing because it means you're learning and you're growing and you're evolving and you're pushing yourself, okay? So I need you to get this expectation of perfection out of your head. Of course, you're going to do the best you can, right? Of course, you're going to push yourself as much as you can handle where it doesn't overly stress you out, but you're going to get uncomfortable. Yes, you're going to grow, but you are also going to fall down. You are not going to be perfect, and we are not going to be afraid of failure. We are not going to be afraid of messing up. We are going to celebrate it and go, okay, this is a learning lesson. What did I learn? What is the lesson that I got? And and then when it happens, most of them are like, oh, they'll forget what I said. They'll say, like, oh my gosh, I fell off track and I should have done this. And I'm like, nope. Remember what we talked about? This is part of the process. What did you learn? You're not beating yourself up. That does not do anything. You do not get to beat yourself up. You only get to express compassion and understanding and love with yourself. And we are going to grow from this. So what did you learn? What happened that caused this mistake? And how can we plan better for the future? That's all this journey is. And I repeat that to them over and over again until they're finally able to do that as a habit where when they fall down, they go, okay, Viv said this is a learning lesson. What did I learn? And we go through that process through our journey. So I really hope that you found this video insightful and helpful. I was looking back at my other videos and I realized I don't know if I would say closing my heart, but I was not speaking from my heart as much as I wanted to. And so I've just set the intention, like, I'm not going to follow a script. I'm not going to follow specific notes. I'm going to have a topic at hand, but I'm really just going to open my heart and speak through God and have him say whatever he feels like you need to hear right now. And so this purely was from my heart, and I'm going to, as best as I can, make sure every video that I make going forward is completely, truly, and fully from my heart and not my head. So anyways, again, I hope you enjoyed and found this video helpful. If you would love to work with me one-on-one and really have that support and accountability on your journey to overcoming yo-yo dieting, getting out of the binge restrict cycle, and master your eating and exercise habits and your relationship with food and your body, then you can go ahead and apply to work with me on my website at www.teamevolve.co. And if you would love to follow me on my social medias where I post so many more tips with fat loss, with mindset shifts, with overcoming yo-yo dieting, then you can go ahead and follow me on my Instagram at Vivian No, and on my TikTok at Vivian No with an underscore at the end. And if you would like to see more videos from me on YouTube here, then feel free to click this guy up here. And otherwise, I just want to say, sorry, my head's itchy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had such a good time just sitting here and talking to you heart to heart, and I'm wishing you the best on your fitness journey, my friend. I'm sending you so much love, and I hope that you can feel that. All right. Bye, guys.